Barcelona is a fantastic football club, and I don't think there are many players who would be able to say no to them. I'm addicted to football. Sometimes the body just needs to take a break, and you need to listen. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who is scoring and who is not scoring. It's about winning games. I think, for everyone who wants to get to the highest level, you have to be in the Premier League, of course. I've always been a runner. Money has never been a motivation. In Denmark, you are sure to play if you are good, but Ajax played you if you did not have the mentality and went 100% to it. I've played a lot of games. I started very early, and the first 50 games were just warm-up games. My form with Denmark hasn't been too bad. I got off to a very slow start with 5 goals in my first 50 games. As a player, you want to play for your national team. If you're fit, you play. If you're not fit, you don't play. It's never fun to be injured. It's always boring being on the side. You want to go back to help the team and to be able to play. I wouldn't go to a club just to stay on the subs bench. My mom worked in a grocery shop and played football, and my dad worked with cars, a sales director, and he played to almost a professional level. His dad played as well. When you're young, I probably still am at 23, though I don't feel so young anymore. You have your ups and downs. Every player has a different style of play, has a different talent, so people look differently at you. In the future, I see myself at the highest level. That's what I dream about. I never got to train with the likes of Wesley Sneijder and Rafael van der Vaart, but I am from the club where they were. I am not Dutch, but I am from a club where they both played with the same style. They've had really big success when they left Ajax, so I hope I can achieve the same. That's the main thing for a player. You feel comfortable, you feel aware of everything around you, and you don't think about anything other than football when you're on the pitch. Money has never been a motivation. Argentinian people are always a bit more aggressive. I went to Chelsea twice when I was 14 and 15. I was at Danish club Odense at the time and came across with a friend to Cobham. We played against West Ham Youth away, and the year after, we played Millwall away. You can definitely train your awareness to be even better than it is. Of course, you start with a certain point of feelings and awareness on the pitch. But I think the more you get in positions, the more you get used to it, the more you get used to the tempo of your teammates, everything. It feels more and more natural, and quicker and quicker. I'm my own person, and I think that's what everyone wants because it's difficult to be somebody else. Everything has been put into what we all wanted at Spurs. Everybody wanted to become a top team, and that is what we have tried to do. Ajax have a tradition of good football and play 4-3-3, which suits me. They also spend lots of money on youth players with the aim of putting them in the first team. I've always been a player on the move. It's not because I like running. I like getting the ball. To play against Luka Modric is always special because he's an exceptional player and, of course, a living legend from Spurs, where you still hear a lot about him. If you get the feeling of winning, you want to have the feeling again. I've never been one to go past 20 players on the wing. I'm always going to be the guy sneaking the ball through, to build and create something. I think everybody knows if they played a good or a bad game. I had a lot of dealings with Bergkamp. I started with the under-17s at Ajax, and he was the assistant coach. Once or twice a week, we had individual one-to-one training sessions. You just watched Bergkamp. When you see him in training, he had skills that a guy just shouldn't be allowed to have. I only had good years with Frank de Boer. I don't have anything bad to say about him. Anyone can beat anyone in the Premier League. Of course, it's nice to get recognition, but I'm not looking for it. I just do my thing. If it comes, it comes. But it's not what you play for. It is always hard when the referee is against you. The more stable you are, if you have the same manager, mostly the same players, it makes it easier for the club to play as best as they can. It gives a bit of comfort. I played for the first time when I was 3. My neighbor was 6, and I went to train with him. But I don't have many football memories from when I was young. When you are new, it is difficult to get momentum and get to know your teammates when you are not regularly in the team. You can't get in the top 4 if you can't beat the clubs who are in the top 4. From the start, all I did was play football. I briefly played badminton and won a tournament when I was 12, but really, it was always football. Every player wants to play more than 45 minutes, but it's the decision of the coach. You have to work hard. Bale is an exceptional player. He's shown that for years. He's Wales' talisman, and he's been that for years and will be for years. He's technically very gifted, very direct, has a wonderful kick and a lot of paces and a good finisher. Any coach in football doesn't like national team games because it's out of your hands. You can't really control what's going to happen. Penalties are easy if you score, but in open play, we create chances as well. I'm personally in a different stage of my career than I was at the beginning. I was young and tried to run a lot and fight for things. Now it falls naturally. That's something you get with experience. As a player, sometimes you expect something to happen every time the ball is in the box. Every time somebody falls down, you get nervous because you have to watch your back because anything can happen. When the team is doing well, you go with the flow. You get confidence, and you just build on that. I don't like it hectic. I like to keep it calm and do my thing, play the pass. I think you see the pass if you are in a good state of mind. You watch Silva, and he almost never gives the ball away. He is always looking, thinking, making the right calls. Football was always big in my family. In England, you can't enter the training ground without permission, whereas in Denmark, you are free to go in. I'm not a player to defend or run around. I want the ball. Why did I come to Spurs? It just felt right. During the game, you don't really notice how many guys have touched the ball because you're just focusing on where you need to be. Villas-Boas wasn't a bad man, not at all. I think, for everyone who wants to get to the highest level, you have to be in the Premier League, of course. I'm addicted to football. When I get outside, I just want to stay on the training pitch. I don't mind who takes the spotlight. If you win the game, then it doesn't really matter. Talking to the press, you say things a little differently. I think, mostly for people on the outside, it's a lot about numbers or stats. More or more. That's how the football world is going, in that direction. But I'm not really looking into it. I'm just trying to be the best I can, to create as much as possible. Everyone wants to play like Spurs. We want to play attractive football, get the ball forward, and create chances with good possession. It was a bit of a shock playing against Millwall. I knew the reputation of English football was tough, but my first thoughts when we started were, wow, this is different to Denmark. They kicked a little more and made crazy tackles, but I wasn't injured when I returned to Denmark, so I guess I did okay. Sometimes the body just needs to take a break, and you need to listen. The most important thing is to try to do your best. The World Cup is definitely a good place to show that when you're at Tottenham, you can be a top player. I have felt in my head that I would like to play, but then you listen to your body and accept it might be better that you do not play every game immediately after an injury. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who is scoring and who is not scoring. It's about winning games. There's no better place to put things right than at the San Siro. It's the perfect stadium to play in. As a football player, you would like to play each match. I focus on playing football, and there are many battles you have to think about and which must be won. Generally, you're going into every game with excitement. You know you're going to play forward and not going to defend. You're going to try to create and score goals. Everyone looks at who is playing a World Cup. If a player you do not know makes a good impression at the World Cup, you'll notice him more afterwards. Thanks for watching Infinite Quotes Hub video. Comment to let us know your favorite quote and join with us with our next video, as it will enrich you externally as well internally. Please share with others.